evening, and welcome to Wholesome Roots. Ryan will be right with us. I asked him to fetch me my water while he was up, so my water was empty, so he's refilling it. I've been drinking lots and lots of water lately, trying to flush my system of all the toxins. I see we have Dolly Perry here. Thank you for joining us. Divine Providence Homestead, Seven Sprouts Farmstead, Jane A. Golden Pyrenees, Valerie D. Browncoat Homestead. Thank you, sweetie. How is everybody this evening? I hope well. Seven Sprouts Farmstead, my friend Jen. I haven't been seeing you on Facebook much lately, like I usually do, and I was starting to worry about you. I hope everything's going okay over on your homestead, and looking forward to hearing from you again. Michelle Justice, hello. Darlene McFate, hello from Calgary, Canada. Excellent. I love it when we get international people. And Ryan is with us. You haven't worn that shirt in a while. It's one of my favorite shirts. Xavier Hope Thomas is here. Glad you could join us. Rowan Liam says hi.
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 Hello.
Dude, Titus is like that every evening when he's done playing with Khaleesi all day.
Yeah.
He is always out like a light.
When we bring him in, he's out usually for the whole night.
He'll sleep like that while we're eating, and then usually after that we open the door if he wants to come out and hang out with us and sit with us on the couch. He climbs up in our lap like a lap dog. Oh, homeschool started this week. Yes, that's a busy, busy time. Yeah, I was just talking to a friend about some stuff I need to print out for Rowan and Liam. Liam likes doing the worksheets alongside his brother, so that's always fun. Rowan is a very self-guided learner. He can take a program on the computer and just plug himself in, and he'll do all of the problems and have them all solved before I've even had coffee. He's really, really loves to learn. They can't see down there, buddy. See, they can just see the top of your head.
What's this?
Watch this.
Watch this. Squish. He squished the green chick. That's not how you hold real chicks, though, right? You're real gentle when it's a real baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on today, I'm sick the whole morning.
Oh.
And
So, how is everybody this evening? How about you, Ryan? How are you? I haven't really talked to you much.
Wore out.
You look.
Chris,
You got red neck.
And
You got that farmer's tan.
I'm still itchy.
Oh.
yes.
You might want to explain why you're itchy.
I
Just left that open.
I had to
Mama,
put
this is upset.
Okay.
I had to put a net on a round bale of hay for the horses at my work, and it got all over me, and it made me extremely itchy. There's something, whatever type of hay that is. I've dealt with lots of hay, and it's never made me itch this much. And I've showered. So.
Hey, Deb Kettleston. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Patty Rose. Hi, Deborah Sanders. Hi, Papa Truck Prepstetter. Deb, I was looking at the email you sent me with that sweet potato roti, and I went and watched the video, and it has cornstarch in it. So I researched all day, and I found another sweet potato roti recipe that's safe for me, and I made it for my homemade pizza tonight, and it was delicious. I mean, I was kind of missing tomato-based sauce, but I put some herbs and garlic and butter. We're out of olive oil, which I didn't realize until I went to make it. So unfortunately, I had to just settle for some Kerrygold. That's the only butter I'm approved to eat. I suppose I could make some goat milk butter, but we don't have a cream separator, so it would take a lot of patience to get the cream separated off. Hello, it's been a few weeks. Glad you finally got a diagnosis. Hope you're feeling better, Rose. Thank you, Brenda Buckley. I would say today I almost felt like I felt better. I felt better than yesterday. Yesterday I had a lot of feet inflammation. My feet get really, really, really painful and really hot. And I get to the point where I cannot sit down. I mean, cannot stand up. I mean, like, really. And the doctor said if my feet are like that, they have to be elevated above my heart. I've got to get them up. And that's really dangerous to leave them that way. So, can you substitute arrowroot for cornstarch? I'm not sure. I haven't learned all the substitutions yet. Today I learned that if something calls for psyllium husk, I can substitute for flax seed flour, like ground flax seed, which then I realized, because my friend Trisha at Willow Creek Homestead, I was messaging her, and she said, yeah, but you can have your own eggs. You just can't have store-bought eggs. And I was like, oh, yeah. And so I was able to put some quail eggs into the mix to give it that binding agent that is kind of hard to get with gluten-free flours. Your sharing your health journey has encouraged me to try again for a diagnosis after an additional 18 months since the last attempt. Thanks. I needed the kick in the butt. I have quite a few people who have said that. One of them, one of my very close friends, she had everything checked a while back, but the lab left off the second sheet of testing, and so she never got to see what her thyroid results were, and she's been experiencing quite a few of the same symptoms as me. And then I was telling my mom she needs to get tested. I want my sisters tested too. It's very hereditary. They say that basically 9 out of 10 of your female close relatives are going to be suffering from low thyroid too, if you are, and possibly most likely Hashimoto's as well. So I yeah, it is a learning curve, Dolly. I have had so many. Whew. And then I keep having people telling me other things that are really strict things that you should avoid that weren't on my original list from the doctor. But doing the research and reading about it, I'm like, yeah, I should avoid that, And one of them is blueberries. I eat blueberries all the time because they're antioxidant, and I consider that anti-inflammatory.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. I used tapioca starch in the recipe today. I don't know if that's the same or the same as arrowroot substitute. Would that be the equivalent of arrowroot as a substitute? Because I had tapioca starch. So I'm making a shopping list too of all the little things I keep seeing in a recipe, and I go, oh, I can't make that because I don't have that. That's a weird ingredient, like xanthan gum. Who has xanthan gum in their cabinets?
Just have xanthan gum lying around.
I guess people who have gluten issues too. Hello, Terry Trodo. So glad you could join us. Suburban Hillbilly is here. Did I miss anybody else new coming in? Divine Providence Homestead has xanthan gum. Marge Perez is here as well.
You can probably get it on Amazon, I bet.
Yeah, I think they have it at Kroger, but I wasn't knowing that I needed it. I think that might be Titus.
What did you find?
He said he smells something. Smelling the same thing you and I are smelling. I think the puppy tooted. Unless it was you, Ryan.
No.
The puppy told this, but I didn't.
Oh, the puppy chewed that, but you can still wear it. Yeah. Well, you must have had it where the puppy could get it, huh? Make sure you put it away next time. Yeah. Yeah, finding little substitutes. It's basically like I can have all the fish and chicken and sweet potatoes I want, but everything else I have to be super careful about. Can you buy sweet potatoes in bulk? I mean, really, I need to find a way to buy them in bulk. The next time my ex-husband goes to BJ's, I'm going to have him check.
We should grow them in bulk.
Yeah, well, it's too late to grow them this year. But we grew them last year, and they were lovely. Very good. They didn't store as well as the bigger store-bought sweet potatoes. Ours were kind of smaller. Gluten-free is no xanthan gum allowed. That's very interesting. I thought that was in a gluten-free recipe I saw. So I'm glad I didn't go out and buy it. Ours is different, yet it's a good substitute. Tapioca flour works very similar. It wasn't tapioca flour, it was tapioca starch. So, is that the same? Maybe it's the same. Fish, chicken, sweet potatoes. Sounds great to me. What other fresh veggies are you able to have? Well, I thought I could eat all of the good ones if they were cooked. So broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage and kale are all cruciferous vegetables in the Brassica family, and I was told not to eat those raw, and so I thought I could eat them cooked. But then today, in my vlog, Creating Essence commented, and she said, "Are you sure you can have those, because those are considered goitrogens?" Goiters can happen on your thyroid when you have the condition that I have, and goiters are like little tumors, and I don't want that to happen. And those are foods that can make it happen. And you know, when I went and researched it just a little bit, I was reading this one article that even listed cassava flour as a goitrogen, and I was like, cassava flour is what all of my friends with Hashimoto's use. Like, I don't understand. Like, do I have to avoid all the goitrogens too? So I've got an email. I'm getting ready. I've been taking notes on all of the stuff I need to email my doctor and ask about. Because there's been a few supplements that I have thought I needed to take, but he didn't recommend when we were in our meeting. But we talked about so many other things that we probably just missed it. So I'm going to ask him if I can take those supplements, because I already have them and stuff. And I think they would be helpful from the research I've done. And then there was something else I wanted to ask him about goitrogens. So I'm making a list of all of the stuff I'm going to email the doctor. Well, he is kind of I think one of his he has like 4 doctorates, and I think one of them is in nutrition. He's very, very knowledgeable about that stuff. So I think he'll be able to help me with that. But if you know of any dietitians or nutritionists that'd be willing to talk with me via Skype or something, I'd be totally open to hear more information. And the thing is, this is like, okra's not a nightshade. I said that in the video today, but it's not. Come to find out, it's listed in the nightshade list because it has solanades, or solan something. And that's the ingredient in nightshades that makes you have inflammation. So, yeah. So, and blueberries have them too, apparently. And artichokes was the other one that somebody mentioned. They're all considered inflammation causing. Talk
to your doctor, I think, because do the benefits outweigh the risk on those things?
Maybe. There's so many different schools of thought.
Hear that?
Do you hear that? For instance, Dr. Wentz, whose book I'm reading on the Hashimoto's protocol, Trisha from Willow Creek Homestead was telling me that she says that cruciferous vegetables are fine if they're cooked. So she doesn't consider them a danger to me. So, and she's very well known for knowing her Hashimoto stuff. Is that running water?
Must be rolling.
Good evening, Shell Michelle.
All right, so it's the weekend finally.
Oh, we eat broccoli like every other day, Seven Sprouts Farmstead. And I love broccoli, so it's going to be really hard to skip it if I have to. I'm not confident that that's what I need to skip right at this moment, but I may have to.
Yeah, let's hope that her doctor says like, I would go ahead and eat it. That's what I'm hoping.
Probably not. He's probably gonna say, "You can do what you want to your body, but I don't recommend it," because he is so
he
about
would've-
food is medicine. And
But
if it is,
he would have put it on the list.
yeah, but that wasn't his specific list. It was one that he printed out and handed out. You know, it was a handout. It wasn't his specific list. And there's probably very few patients that take it to this seriousness. I don't want to be sick anymore. I'm so not wanting to be sick anymore that I am willing to give it all up and fight hard to get better. And in all reality, what most people say is once you have been on this diet for at least 30 days, but for a little while, that you can then add things back in and see how your body reacts to it, because everybody reacts differently to foods, and it's going to be different for each person. And Bluegrass Bound is in the house. That picture's familiar, but that name is not. Did you start a channel? Did you used to have a different name? Or am I losing my mind? I am having a little bit of brain issues lately. Wendy Benjamin is here. So, how is everybody tonight? We have 28 people watching. How many thumbs up do we have? I hope 28.
28.
I can't see that. I don't know where it shows that, but Terry Trodo. I wonder if the pink lemonade blueberries are a little different from the regular blueberries because of the color difference. There is a taste difference. Yeah, very well could be. I used to hobby YouTube as Bluegrass Bound.
Holly Stacklin. Hi, I'm late. You're not that late.
Hi, Holly. How are you? So good to have you guys all here tonight. I know Friday nights are not always when people want to be sitting in front of YouTube, but I appreciate that you guys consider us fun enough to hang out with us on a Friday night.
I guarantee you that when we're saying goodnight, there's going to be somebody that pops in that's just now joining us right when we're getting on.
It's going to be Cindy from Part Time Permies. You hear that, Cindy? Are your ears burning? Oh. I thought Trisha was going to join us from Willow Creek Homestead, but she said she'd be popping in and out when she could. She had a busy night, so.
There's only 11 thumbs up. Well,
it is suggested that 3 months is better on the AIP elimination diet. Yeah, I was thinking 30 days wouldn't be enough because I'm 2 weeks into it, sort of. I'm really a week into it strict, but I went a week of no gluten, no sugar before I started. And I'm still feeling the detox effects, Wendy. So I think 3 months probably is going to be more accurate for me because I'm not even, and I'm still making mistakes. You know, I still am slipping up and putting things on my plate that I'm not supposed to by accident. I just don't realize it. Making pasta for the family the other night. How do you test your pasta to see if it's ready, to see if it's done? You pop a noodle in your mouth and you chew it up, right? Oh, I did that. And I had to spit it out. Thank goodness I didn't swallow, but I had to spit it out. Like, I was like, why? Oh my gosh, I can't even test noodles. But, I mean, I don't think I have celiac, so it's not as extreme a case of histamines flare up if I do have a noodle in my mouth and spit it out. So I'm hoping that that doesn't become an issue. A lot of people with Hashimoto's actually become celiac. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. TJ Miller is happy to join a live show. We're happy to have you. Who else did I miss? Somebody else. I just started to work school on Monday, but had meetings yesterday and today in the morning. Haven't watched all the videos all week. Haven't had the time, but make sure I made it here. Oh, thank you, Shell. Life of Laura and Lynn Smith are here. Thank you for joining us, ladies. You will not believe how much better you will feel. Try rice pasta. Yes, we got some brown rice pasta. I had that the other night. It was pretty good. It wasn't awful. It was acceptable. Nothing like Part-Time Permy's homemade pasta that's full of gluten. But
maybe they could make a gluten-free.
they don't make a gluten-free. He
Maybe
said it's
they
just
could.
too hard. Because you have to have separate equipment. You can't be gluten-free without separate equipment.
Okay.
Throw it against the wall, and if it sticks, it's done. That's exactly what Trisha said. I watched a YouTube video from Doug Kaufman on ashwagandha, and he said fungus and molds are causing many health issues, and doctors know nothing of it. Fungus is killing 1.6 million people a year. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I mean, that's what we suspect killed 4 of our goats last year, is an unknown fungus somewhere. And I have lived in a lot of houses with mold and fungus issues. So, I mean, that could have contributed to the decline of my thyroid. Terry says, hopefully soon I will hear from my doctor for an appointment. I've been on so much pain lately and been overly tired. I gotta see what's going on with me. Make sure you get your antibodies, your thyroid antibodies checked, as well as your T3, T4, and reverse T3. You gotta know what the ratio between your reverse T3 and your regular T3 are in order to know if it's okay, because you can have normal levels of TSH and T3, T4 and still have Hashimoto's. That's how I ended up. That's what was with me. My T3 was a little low, but not by very much. But my TSH was perfectly normal. My T4 was perfectly normal. It was the antibodies that showed up and showed that my body was really fighting hard. Brenda Buckley, you are on the right track. It's definitely try an hour. You'll get there. Zoodles. Yeah, I do need to get my hands on some zucchinis. I have some of those zoodle making thingies.
We have the tool.
Different brands of rice pastas are better than others. My mom said that there's a rice pasta she likes that's on Amazon. She said she was going to send me a link. I forgot to remind her. She hasn't sent me a link. At Giant, you can get a pasta called Banza. It's made from chickpeas. Ooh, I like chickpeas. I think the thing about the pasta is the texture. Like when I stirred in my butter into my pasta, because I can't have tomato sauce, so I was like, butter and garlic. When I stirred it in, a lot of the noodles like broke up. And I did it on the lowest number of minutes of cooking, and it was al dente, but it doesn't hold, you know.
Al dente.
Love band pasta. Okay, I'm gonna have to try that. Holly Stacklin, I make all my own pasta. We thought it would use a lot of all the eggs, not a case at all, but they taste better. What kind of flour do you use, Holly? I have a pasta maker. I could make my own if I could get my hands on the right flour. That would be really cool. Banza pasta, yes. Okay, Banza pasta. I'm gonna look at that. And definitely, zucchini and yellow squash aren't on the naughty list, so we'll have to get our hands on some more of that. I bet I could make it grow again. If I planted this weekend, we could get another crop of zucchini and squash.
Should try that.
We have enough days left here in Georgia. I should definitely do that. And the weather today was so nice. It was cool this morning. Like, not cold, but like it wasn't unbearable hot. As soon as I walked out the door, I was like, ooh, the air actually feels tolerable. It's like, this is gardening weather. Of course, my energy levels and my hand and feet pain have been the worst. And my whole body too, but my hand and feet have been where my symptoms personally have been the worst. Yeah, I've even had some that had fruit in 30 days, Life of Laura, believe it or not. Remember those little flying saucer gray ones? And we were like, 30 days and it has a fruit? That's impossible. I wanted to write to the USDA. What do you want, Weiner? We'll go get some blueberries then. They're in the fridge. Daddy bought more. Daddy bought more because he didn't hear the rumor about blueberries possibly being a goitrogen.
So I made a quick stop by the store to buy blueberries, bananas, and apples, and what else did I get? Oh, muscadines. They had muscadines for sale. And I wanted to get cherries, but they're out. So.
Dolly, I'm going to take that as a challenge. Dolly Perry says, I'd love to see you plant a row. She just had a Facebook post yesterday or today asking who grows a garden. And I said, I do, but not very good. And she said, you know, something to the effect of plant the seed. You can do it. And I think I can. I think you're right. Thank you for encouraging me. I appreciate that. I need a good swift kick in my butt. And if the weather is right this weekend and it's not overly hot, my symptoms won't be as severe in the heat. And if I do it in the morning, when I have my most energy, then I might be able to knock it out. I've got that one bed cleared that I pulled the weeds last weekend when I had a burst of energy, or the weekend before, whenever that was. Dirt Patch recommended pasta in her last cooking video. I'll have to check that out. Thank you for telling me that. I've actually been told to not omit salt from my diet. I am supposed to avoid iodized salt. Iodine in high amounts is bad for Hashimoto's, but pink Himalayan salt is actually very much needed for my adrenals. So I'm actually supposed to be salting more things, but with the pink Himalayan salt, not iodized salt. So there's a difference in salts and how they affect your body.
Hi guys, did you buzz your head? Yes and no. It might kind of looks like it, but still there. But I do. I showered, but I do buzz once a week.
Once a week, he buzzes the sides down to stay cool. Dolly Perry, yes, green beans, cucumbers, and squash were the 3 things that I thought I should try to plant again. So I'm hoping that works. Hello, Sweet Iris Farm. Good to see you tonight. So Crazy Bird Lady from SK. What is SK, if you don't mind my ignorance? Love cherries. Cherries are great antioxidants too. Jackfruit, I have some jackfruit in my freezer. It is really filling and can be used in so many ways. Oh, I have the ripe one. I have the ripe. We bought a jackfruit like this for $10, and I broke it all down. We let it ripen all the way so it would be sweet. So it's not the meaty jackfruit. But that's a great idea because you know I can't have pork and beef now. Well, I could if I could find grass-fed, grass-finished at a price I can afford, but they're hard to come by and out of my price range when I do find it.
I didn't care for it.
But we haven't tried it as a meat.
No.
When you buy underripe jackfruit and use it as a meat, like a pulled pork sandwiches.
Yeah, didn't over at my mom's, didn't they make?
Yeah.
One day? It was okay like that.
But I can't have barbecue sauce. But part-time Permies, Cindy told me that autumn olive, last year she harvested autumn olive. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, remember I found some at the farm I used to work at.
It's at Minifold?
Yeah.
I wonder if they let me go pick it. Have you seen it anywhere else? So autumn olive is an invasive tree that has little berries all over it, and it's an edible fruit. Actually, one of our subscribers just messaged me recently with pictures of it to identify it for them. So anyway, Part-Time Hermes said that last year she harvested a bunch and she made ketchup out of it. And she said you couldn't tell the difference. So if I got a bunch of autumn olive, I could make my own ketchup and I can make my own barbecue sauce. and then I would feel special. And I bet I could make it like a pizza sauce too. That would help. That would help me, because I don't know how I'm going to live without tomatoes. I really hope that we can add tomatoes back into my diet and I'll be okay. I'm praying for that very hard. Speaking of prayers, if everybody could give a moment to think about, send well wishes, pink bubbles, prayers, whatever your beliefs are, and good thoughts to a very dear friend of all of ours, Robert at Daybird Aviaries. He had major dental surgery this week, and he's not doing well. So if you could please think of him and send him well wishes, he would very much appreciate. He asked me to ask you guys to think of him, so, and to pray for him. Sorry to get kind of off sidetrack there. I missed a bunch of comments. All right, jackfruit. That's where I left off at. Onion. Yes, I can have onion. Stringfield Ridge Farm has joined us. Pink Himalayan salt is almost every mineral in your body needs. Yeah, it's pretty much all we use too.
Much.
We have kosher salt as backup if we run out.
Just the stuff that we buy that has salt in it, that's like the only salt that we have that's not Himalayan pink.
Yeah, sweet potatoes really are my best friend, and I love sweet potatoes. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Crazy Bird Lady's name is Maria.
Okay, nice to meet you.
I love spaghetti squash. I've often used that as a spaghetti, and it's really yummy. Autumn olive everywhere. I want some, and it's an invasive, so it's kind of, I shouldn't want it, but now that I know I could use it like ketchup, I do want it. My C-reactive protein is off the chart. I had my thyroid removed and take Synthroid daily. Will this diet help my pain? Oh, Charles Hancock from Old Alabama Gardener was just talking to me about C-reactive protein, and he said it should be below 1. And he said that if it's not below 1, that you really need to be strict with your anti-inflammatory. So yes, this would help you, Lynn. It would help you very much because it's an anti-inflammatory diet.
Yeah, I think the anti-inflammatory diet would help anybody that got on it. And I looked at the list of things, just wondering, what am I eating that's so inflammatory? And it baffled me when I saw that. I realized I eat a peanut diet during the work week, pretty much, because I eat so much granola, and I always get the peanut butter kind, and I eat straight up peanut butter for lunch. I'm like, man, I am just eating straight up
Nothing
inflammation,
but inflammation, yeah.
all week. So I want to cut that, switch it to almond butter, switch a granola to like a almond granola.
To like a trail mix.
Yeah, like a trail mix or something.
I made a nut mix. So it's got almonds and the pepitas, the little pumpkin seeds that are green.
Pepitas.
And sunflower seeds and almonds and walnuts and cranberries. So it's got that little kick of sweet.
And it's delicious. But yeah, I want to switch to almond butter instead of peanut butter. I just want to see if that makes any difference to me. It might. I don't know. Have to try.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll through and make sure I don't miss anybody. Squash is about the only vegetable in my diet that you have not mentioned. That's got to be a difficult diet. It really is. Yeah, squash is one of the best things for me right now. Especially winter squash. Winter squash is a really high in nutrients. So things like butternut and acorn. And you know what? It's fall. So it'll be in season. It'll be a good time for me to make this adjustment. I have to keep a positive attitude. Over 300. Lynn, dear honey, you've got to reach out to Charles Hancock. Old Alabama Gardener. Send him a private message. He is so knowledgeable, and he will help you so much with helping get that down. We've got to get that way down. Oh, my goats eat garlic like it's going out of business. But if they won't, then I puree it in the Ninja with olive oil or apple cider vinegar or kombucha, and I drench it. If it's an infection, that's what you need to do. And vitamin C too, Kiri. Vitamin C at 5,000 milligrams per day is what I do for mastitis infection on a goat. I think many of us are inflamed and don't know it. Probably so. That 1870s homestead is here. Hello. Allie Oakley is here. Where's JD? He's right behind you, right? Where is he? Where is he? Cranberries usually have sugar on them, Rose. I thought about that. It didn't say, it was in the section. What I did is I got the section, it was in the natural food section, where it was like raw peanuts, raw almond and raw, like no salt added. And the cranberries were in that section, so I was hoping that they might not have sugar. But maybe I'll switch it to raisins. That might be safer. All right, what are you going to do with the peanuts you planted? Carrie, when that doctor started talking about how inflammatory peanuts were, first things out of his mouth were peanuts. The reason why there's so many people allergic to them is because there's a mold and a fungus that grows on peanuts. And that mold and fungus is what causes so many allergies and inflammation in everybody. And I was like, guess what, Carrie? Those peanuts that I planted are the only peanut in the world that is completely resistant to that mold and fungus. When Jen at JM in the Nut House gave me those seeds, we had a conversation on the phone and we were talking about them, and she said that even people that have peanut allergies can sometimes be able to eat those peanuts with no issues. So these Amazon peanuts are going to be the only peanuts I will be able to eat this entire year. And I will have to grow 100 times more next year.
And I'll probably end up eating them all because I eat some.
You're not touching my peanuts. They're for me. We're actually
You better hide them from me.
We're actually hoping that the peanuts will be ready for our frugal family food video. We're doing a collaboration with Frugal Family Food with Tangi and Amanda, and we are creating a video for harvest for the month of September. So we're scheduled to do that, I think, the third weekend of September, and I'm hoping that the peanuts are ready for that. I have a great idea in mind for them. Sorry. I got so excited about those peanuts. I'm glad you asked, Carrie. Can you make butter from raw goat's milk? Yes, but it's kind of complicated or hard because the cream doesn't separate naturally, and I don't have a cream separator. So if I leave it in the coldest part of the fridge and I wait a while, I can kind of skim off a little bit of cream and separate that. But it's and then I just have skim milk left. You know, it's not going to be as creamy, the milk that's left behind. But I oftentimes do that anyway. If I want some heavy cream, I'll do that and just make cheese out of the milk that's left. They all have sugar. Oh, well, I got this one package and it is distributed amongst many nuts. It's mostly nuts with just a few cranberries. You're right. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't even want to go look at the label now. I'm going to have to give you all of my nut mix that I've made.
Yeah, your meatball subs are probably.
Yeah, I bet they were delicious though. I'm growing an Amazon peanut, Terry Trodo.
I think about it every time I eat anything now, and I'm like, she can't eat. Rose can't eat this. It's inflammatory. I'm like, Good Lord, everything's inflammatory.
I'm not supposed to have any sugar at all. But my personal opinion on that, what do you need?
Go eat your pizza.
I think he just wants those blueberries and he's afraid to get them out of the fridge.
Let me go.
My opinion on the honey thing is if I can have stevia, then why can't I have honey? So what I told Ryan is, you know, he asked, oh, do you want me to add honey to it? And like my son brought me a tea yesterday and I said, did you put honey in? Because he always puts a ton of honey in my tea. He knows I love honey in my tea. And he said, no, try it without the honey. And I'm like, you're right, you're right. So I'm trying to avoid honey even. But like I made a smoothie the other day with milk kefir that was really over fermented and sour. And the sour taste, I couldn't drink the smoothie. So I had to add honey. I had already added sweet potato and banana and it was still too sour. Once I added the honey, I was able to drink it. So I can have sugar that's naturally occurring in fruits. So I can eat all of the, if I eat the fruit, if I eat the whole fruit, I can't juice the fruit and drink the juice. That would have too high a sugar and not enough fiber. The fiber in the fruit is what helps break down the sugar and makes your body react to it differently. And it has other things. The doctor explained, but I don't remember all the words he used. I was okay without the honey in my tea. It was pretty good. It was okay. It was good. Hi, Alicia McNamara. Glad you could join us. The glycemic index. Honey is better than sugar, but not as good as stevia or monk fruit. Oh, monk fruit. Somebody was saying they like monk fruit. Somebody just recently. Who was it? It was one of you YouTubers, wasn't it? I'd like to try that. I haven't seen that for sale. I need to look though. I've never had a need to look. Yeah, I put bananas in my smoothie to sweeten it too, Carrie, but it was not enough. It was a big, it wasn't just a single serving. It was a big pitcher smoothie because I was making it for the boys too. And I just had one banana in it and it just was not doing it for me. Always enjoy your Friday night live chats. We'll be praying for you both with all the new changes. Hope everyone has a blessed week and got to run to figure out dinner. Have a good night, little Miss Wannabe Homesteader. Thank you for joining us. Corey in Wisconsin. Where have you been? Glad you could join us. We've been missing you on our Friday night lives, haven't we? Or am I completely going insane? My brain is really bad, guys, so if I forget things that we've talked about, please don't feel offended by that. I really do forget things. There's got to be a way to make a pumpkin pie for you for the holidays. The spices are anti-inflammatory. Ooh, that's a great idea, Suburban Hillbilly.
Sugar-free, and then you serve it with a sugar-free whipped cream.
I can use stevia or monk fruit to sweeten it.
Okay.
I can use something, honey even. Honey, like I said, honey I believe is okay as long as I don't do it all the time. And like Ryan got some rice cakes at the grocery store. He got plain ones and he got cinnamon ones. Well, he didn't even think about that. The cinnamon ones have a little bit of cane sugar in it, and it says cane sugar, and I feel like that's a safer sugar. And so what I told him is, I'm going to use that as my treat. You know, I'm not going to gobble them. I'm not going to eat 10 of them at once, even if I want to. And I think that it's more important for me to have a little bit of sugar in the morning to kind of help with the caffeine withdrawal, because I'm giving up coffee slowly but surely. I just keep putting my cup down a little more full, like not finished. It's hard. I don't put any sugar or honey in because it's so good. Hibiscus tea. What? Giving up coffee?
I couldn't give up coffee.
It's horrible.
get you some decaf.
I look better. See, people have been saying that, and I'm like, you guys are just being nice. I don't believe that. I don't think I look any different. Oh, whoops. So monk fruit, Alicia says monk fruit is low glycemic and no calories. That's good. I think you're looking brighter and more energetic. I'm hoping this is a trend. I hope so. I don't notice it. Yes, sunflower seeds are good. Ooh, yes, sun butter. I've had that before. It is really good, Deb. I bought almond butter because it was the only one that didn't have added ingredients. Like most of the nut butters I was looking at in the health food section had like extra salt or sugar added to it, and I was like, no, I just want So I ended up going with an almond butter. It was the first one I found with no other ingredients besides butter. Wait, where are we?
Michelle, I'm confused a little. I thought tomatoes were anti-inflammatory.
Yeah,
I did too.
they're the number one on the list from Harvard Medical School. But because they're a nightshade, they're full of solenoids, which are inflammatory. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't understand it. That's why I'm hoping that I can add it into my diet at a later point. If I can at least add tomatoes back in. I mean, you guys don't understand. Tomatoes and me, we go way back.
She was the tomato
I was
queen.
the tomato queen before I was the goat queen.
Well, at least you don't have to give up goats.
Right. Oh, Terry, I hope you have a good night, hon. Take a rest.
Good night.
Salt can be bad if it's iodized for people with my condition. So iodized salt is not good. Oh, what am I kicking over? Where did I go? I went too far. If you have a Vitamix, you can make your own butter, as in nut butter. Ryan is talking about making his own almond butter, but we have a Ninja. I think he would kill my Ninja, and I would be so upset if I no longer had a Ninja. Our Ninja's not a fancy one.
No, I saw a YouTube video of someone using the same Ninja that we have. It's a Ninja. Almonds aren't diamonds. They're not that tough. I think it would work. I think. Whoa.
Hello, Food Forest Permaculture. Glad you could join us tonight. Yeah, it took me forever to go through the grocery store. Our first grocery trip after my diagnosis, I was like, this is literally the most stressful grocery shopping I have ever had. And I didn't even have the kids in my buggy. Ryan took the kids in his buggy and he went different. I was pretty much alone most of the time because I was having to read every label. It was so stressful because I'd pick up a box and I'd go, oh, gluten-free. Oh, it's got potato starch.
Everything.
Oh, it's got cornstarch. Everything that you think you can have is completely off the list now.
Because I was having that problem too. I thought, oh, I'll get the gluten-free pizza crust because we'll make her a pizza crust with that. And, oh, potato starch. Like, it was very disappointing.
Okay, so you're getting the approval on the Ninja. You just have to soak your nuts first.
See? I mean, I watched the YouTube video.
Or maybe not.
What?
Yes, Divine Providence Homestead. Once you find your items, it makes it easier.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we don't live in an area where people are very health conscious. No offense, Georgia. But so there's kind of a limited amount of things at the grocery store. So I think Amazon is going to be my new best friend. Oh, I've avoided soy for a long time, Sweet Iris Farm. We gave up soy and our GMO gave up, what, 5, 6, 7 years ago? Gosh, I don't even know. So we don't, even our soy sauce is organic soy sauce and then liquid aminos instead. And I just bought coconut aminos because of this new change in food. Oh my gosh, those are delicious. How have I not had coconut aminos my whole life? So I'm glad. I put that on my chicken if I want a little different flavor, a little kick. Did you not get the blueberries already?
He didn't want them. He wanted peanut butter on a spoon. He heard us talking about peanut butter. Can you wait 10 minutes till our show's over and I'll get you some?
Yeah, that's how it is for me, Shell. I tell you, it's like all of the foods that we eat on a regular basis are off of the list of things that I can't eat. But I have a bag of frozen chicken tenderloins. They're not organic or anything, but they're something that when they're having pork or beef, I can take 2 tenderloins out of the freezer and boom, I have dinner. So, I'm just learning how to adapt. And I found some wild caught salmon in the freezer section that wasn't expensive, like the grocery section, the butcher section had the expensive salmon. Well, I found some that was not as expensive, but it was still wild caught, so hopefully not bad. Ryan is going to go hunting. Yes. Love wild food. Hunt, gather, and grow. We love foraging. And Ryan is going to get me some deer, and I can have deer meat. Deer meat's okay. I can have wild game. So that's going to be, I'm going to be like, you can't have any deer steak. They're mine. And he's going to be like, what?
I'm the one that bagged it. I'm thinking of, I want to hunt even more now than I did before. And I'd like to get a bow so I could start hunting earlier than everybody else.
We do have an Aldi. It's a lot smaller, I think, than most people's Aldis because it doesn't have hardly anything. Like, I think the last time we went and I was looking for what they had in organic and stuff, because we prefer to eat organic, it's just can't really afford it as often as we like to. But they didn't have many healthy options at the Aldi when we went. But that was a couple of years ago, so maybe it's gotten better.
Yeah, I've heard Aldi's is good.
Yeah, ours is mostly junk food. It's like chips and granola and snacks and candy for kids, but it's all organic. But that's where they had the organic. What happened? And the fruits and veggies and meats. Why are you doing this, Lily? Let me see. Where does it hurt? This foot? This dirty foot? Here? Oh, on the top. No? Over here? Right there? Is that better? No? I gotta go back here? Is that better? Oh, good.
Anybody notice that? In a minute.
I thought you got them blueberries already.
He didn't want them when I tried. He didn't want them. Anybody notice how Aldi's, like, everything looks similar to stuff you're used to? It just has, like, a slightly different name. I always thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I love deer. We weren't lucky last year. We didn't get any, so hoping this year's better. I'm going to be pushing them out the door in the morning instead of being like, are you really going hunting right now? I'm going to be like, go! Here's your gun. I already got it loaded for you. Breakaway Homesteader says, I'm drinking Aldi wine right now. Deer live here in the food forest well over a dozen.
Okay, just a minute.
I don't think he has a minute, honey.
Well, we're about to be done.
Well, I think we should get him blueberries.
Alright, go to the kitchen.
He can't get through. That's why he hurt himself. Goodbye, bluegrass bound. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subbing, everyone. Hey, everybody, look who's here. It's Part-Time Permies. Were your ears burning? We were talking about you. Oh, boy, were we talking about you, Cindy. Yeah, I'll still get bees, definitely. Ooh, I should. That would be awesome, Jen. We would have too much fun if I came down there for a weekend. Oh, Trisha, your ears are burning too, huh? I've been talking about both of y'all. My two moderators that show up at the end of the show. Thanks, guys. Thanks a bunch. I've heard Costco has a lot of good organics, but not. We don't have one in our town. We have a BJ's that my ex-husband will go and get stuff for me if I request it. He has a membership, so I'll just be like, "Can you get me this? Can you get me that?" And he'll just drop it off. Patrice's projects. Did I not say hi to you when you came in? Did I miss you? Yeah, I've been skipping my Forge Friday videos, Cindy, as you've probably noticed. I haven't had the brain strength to do one because it takes a lot of concentration for me to stand in front of the camera and remember everything I'm supposed to say, and I haven't had that much brain concentration in me at all. So I'm starting to feel a little better. I think I'm gonna pretend it. Fake it till I make it. Today was better than yesterday. For that I'm grateful. Ooh, yummy. I love medieval recipes with scraps being used. I will do that. My best soup recipe in the world is made from pork neck bones. Hello, Two Family Homestead. You haven't been to one of our live shows in a long time. Glad to have you. What can I do for salad dressing? Vinegar and oil. That's it.
That's good, though.
It is kind of one of my favorites, so it's a good thing it's one of my favorites. I'm going to mix some up with some spices and stuff to make it a little better. If I can have lamb's quarters, probably, but Ryan mowed them down with the bush hog. He didn't know they were there. It's his. Yeah, I love balsamic. That's what I use. So part-time permies, we were talking about you because we knew you were going to come in late at the very end when we were saying goodbye. We are also talking about you because we were talking about your awesome pasta and how I can never eat it again until you guys decide to buy 2 sets of equipment and make gluten-free.
Yep.
And we were talking about you because of your autumn olive ketchup recipe. So you're famous tonight. And Tricia, we were talking about you a whole bunch too because of all of your help with my Hashimoto's diet. We have not found homes for them yet, Dance Pepper. I am still looking for homes for them. Oh, hey, it's Daryl, not Cher. Good to see you. Yes, I can eat sweet potato vines. Gosh, it would almost be worth planting a few sweet potato vines just for the greens. We have enough time for the greens. It wouldn't develop any root.
Sure.
But no cayenne or paprika, because I can't have anything from the pepper family, Seven Sprouts Homestead. Lamb is okay. I can have lamb. What about wild weeds, Alicia? What is your question? Can you have them? Can you can them? Oh. Probably not. I'm going to go with no. For multiple reasons. Unless it was wild berries that you were making into a jam or a jelly. That would be different. Lamb's quarters. So, I don't think you can it. But you can freeze it and you can dehydrate it. And if you dehydrate it, you can grind it down into a powder and sprinkle it into other foods to add that nutrient boost. I can't have malt. Trisha told me that. Trisha at Willow Creek Homestead told me that malt is a gluten substance. So I cannot have malted vinegar. Ooh. That's going to be sad when I go to have fish. Well, I guess none of my fish is going to be breaded anyway, so. Well, no, that's not true. Deb said that if I take chickpea and almond flour, I think is what you said. Was it almond and chickpea? And mix it half and half? Or was it rice flour and chickpea flour? And bread it with that it's pretty good.
You know who you're talking to.
I know, my chef. I'm so glad.
I can fry.
Did you hear that? You know who you're talking to, right? Right.
I'll figure it out.
He just kind of reminded me of Matthew McConaughey, who is the hottest actor in the entire universe.
All right.
I love you. I'll take some Weathers just for meat, and I doubt that's what you want them rehome for. No, you can take them for meat. I don't think Perky deserves to be meat because he's so sweet. He should be a pet. He's very affectionate. He's very sweet. So I'd like to see him as a pet, but if I can't sell him as a pet, then it's not.
I mean, we have one named.
It's not the end of the world. I have to keep that in mind whenever.
Curried goat.
Yeah, Curry is the name of one of the Weathers, so obviously we knew what he was going to be when he was born. Because he's a mutt. My mom keeps telling me that I need to just send him to the processor and have it done, and then I'll have that red meat that I've been missing out on. My diagnosis is Hashimoto's along with multiple other issues. Rice and chickpea. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate it. So rice and chickpea, she said you mix that and bread it with that, and it's really nice. Mike is working on a gluten-free pasta with chickpea and some other stuff. Don't ask me. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad he's going to try to develop that. There's so many people that could benefit from it. Where did you find all the information on what to eat and not to eat on this diet? I think you and Trisha at Willow Creek need to start a YouTube channel just for this. I've had that suggested.
Start a YouTube channel? I think YouTube is what gave them this.
Ryan thinks YouTube gave it to us because me and Trisha and Liz and Rebecca all have Hashimoto's. There was somebody else that we've gotten close to. And like those are all people I'm close friends with on YouTube. From YouTube. The only reason why I'm friends with them is because of YouTube. I'd never heard of Hashimoto's until it came out of Trisha's mouth when we were talking. And I was like, what is that? Is that what did you call it?
Quasimoto's.
So where did I get all the information? Honestly, from a million different sources. My doctor gave me a handout of foods to avoid for inflammation, but it's the Anti-Inflammatory Protocol, AIP. So there are a couple of Facebook groups that you can join and get more information. Oh, I love curried goat. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've gone up to DeKalb Farmers Market and bought goat so that I could make curry goat. I love the way goat tastes. I'm not opposed to eating goat.
Is curry
It's
an
just
acceptable?
hard to think that little Perky would be the goat I would eat. You know, it's hard to do your own. It really is. But in practical realization, I think that I need to do it. I think that I need to. I think that I need to just bite the bullet and get it over with. And once I've done one buck, it'll be easier to do all of our future bucks. Because that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to eat your bucks. That's just how it is in the milk goat business. But I'm different than most, and it's harder for me. I get attached. What are the other supplements they suggest that you are not taking yet? There's one that's called Resveratrol. You've probably heard of that. There's Resveratrol. It's called, and so the supplement is called Resvero or whatever. And then there's one that's Tumero, which is another turmeric supplement. And then there's one that's called, I just looked it up. It's something for the brain. To make my brain work better. And that's the one I really want. But I called them and asked them how much it was again. $75 for the brain function one. And I'm like, okay, thank you, bye.
We're over by 6 minutes.
Oh, you have Graves. I'm sorry. That means you have an overactive thyroid, correct? Do you have to follow a similar diet, or are you the opposite diet? Curious. I don't know how that works. You could do what others do, trade a friend with goats and then butcher the trade, so you're not thinking about eating your goat. That's what my mom said to do, too. She said trade with somebody else, but all of my friends had does this year. Bo produced all does, and my friend that has goats used Bo. I mean, he only had 2 boys. Well, 3 if you count Lord, the one that was passed away after a couple of days. I'm sorry, I missed something. We use non-GMO grain, Wendy Benjamin, so we don't have corn and soy in their diet. So I would be able to eat them. I kind of am the same way, Suburban Hillbilly. I told Trisha the other day, I'm just going to steal your goats and they can come live with me. I'll have a petting zoo. Sounds like you just need to eat Indian food over rice. Lots of turmeric. Yeah, but I can't have any of the... I actually can't have curry because it's got so many spices, chili powder and everything. All of those chili spices are from peppers. I can't have anything from a pepper. So I can't have curry. I can't have Mexican food. Those are like my 2 favorite things. When you find out the name of it, let me know. I agree, it'll be okay, just the first one. Hey, invite us over and we'll all eat with you and help get you through it. Ooh, and you'll bring me lamb. Yeah, lamb's on the okay list. Underactive, and they killed my thyroid. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's hard. Sand. That's what we eat. Oh, okay. Let me see what that name was. I wrote it down.
Okay, she's left the room, so now we can really talk about stuff. Never mind, she's coming back. That was fast.
What are you doing?
Nothing?
You talking bad about me?
No.
Nitric balance. Nitric balance. NITRIC balance. I don't know if it's something just sold out of this office or what. But it was the one that when I went to him originally and learned all about thyroid, and he was talking about all the different things, it was the one that resonated with me the most. Like, it sounded like it could help me the most. Like, I was like, wow, I need that. But it's $75. And I don't know if that's for 1 month or for like 3 months. I don't know. I didn't ask. At that point, I was just like, never mind. What do you mean, shush? She's back. What are you talking about?
What is that?
If you can trade one of your boys for a feeder lamb.
What is that?
The only person I know who has feeder lambs is going to be getting rid of all of theirs. All of their animals. No chili powder means no chili. Yeah, isn't that sad? It's so sad. I'm going to have to find, we were talking about spicy stuff. Horseradish. I can add horseradish to things to give me the kick that I like, because I like spicy food.
Sushi's still acceptable, though, so that's good.
I can eat black pepper, though. Black pepper is not from the pepper family. It's from a tree. Everyone have a beautiful weekend. Rose wishing you the very best. Ryan, you look a bit burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Good night, Shal. Thank you. It is brain fog pills. That's basically what it is, Sweet Iris Farm. And that's something all of the pain and the fatigue has been horrible. I feel like I felt like, until I had a diagnosis, it was killing me. It was so bad. But what was worse than the fatigue and the body aching and the hands and feet aching was my brain not working. I can't cook. I leave pots on the stove and I forget to turn them off. I'm like not allowed to cook. I haven't been able to drive. I mean, my brain is bad. My brain is in a really bad place, and I want my brain back more than anything. I want to be able to function. So yes, is that what that was called? Nitric balance? No, it wasn't. I thought it was called function. Never mind. See, I don't know anything. But yes, wasabi would be good, and sushi would be very good. Fish is very good for me right now. Gotta be aware of the sauces. Good point. So I bet eel sauce would be off the list because it's got sugar for sure. Eel sauce is very sweet. But if we did our own, I could use coconut aminos because coconut aminos are kind of sweet.
We know how to make our own sushi.
Yeah, we do. We do our own sushi nights every once in a while. Oh, you're breeding your sheep. I'm going to have to get one from you. Oh, that's good to know. What's a Sichuan pepper? It's a Chinese prickly ash tree fruit. We'll have to get some.
Check the Oriental.
I'm so glad you said that. Sichuan peppers. Ooh, that sounds great. Yeah, we have to go too, Patrice. Have fun. I do like white pepper. It is nice. We like all the colors. PTSD is a big part of it too, with everything that we went through with the goats, and talking to the doctor, he very much believes that PTSD, depression, anxiety, thyroid, adrenal, probably even Lyme disease, possibly fibromyalgia. There are so many things that my body is going through, and I can't afford all the tests for everything. Lyme disease test is $1,500. So we're just trying to treat it all. So, yeah, I need to do more meditation. Have you had your blood checked for minerals or lack thereof? No, because I couldn't afford that test yet. We were focused on just the thyroid at first. We plan on going back for more testing, but we have to do it in small chunks, so a little at a time. The kids are melting. We need to get going. Everybody's saying goodbye. I backed our truck into a pole in my early Hashi's days. Lots of omega-3s in fish and grass-fed animals. Yes, omega-3s are great for me. What about brain-boosting supplements like ashwagandha? Ashwagandha is one that I wanted to take, and I have it. I just need to find out from the doctor if it's okay, because some people with Hashimoto's can't take ashwagandha. So I gotta find out from him if it's okay. Daybird Aviaries is here. Daybird Aviaries, everybody,
Hey, Robert.
say hi to Robert. Robert, we've all been praying already for you.
Squirt saying
I
hi
hope
to
you
Robert.
felt it.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, Squirt hasn't said
He
a
didn't
word
do
all
that all
night.
night. He did not do that.
Hi,
all night.
Robert. Hi, Robert.
Eh,
Hi, Robert.
let's-
I know we're wrapping it up. Squirt saying hi to you. There he goes. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I missed. Sorry. Yes, autoimmune disorders and Lyme go hand in hand a lot of times. I grew up in Lyme disease country. Everybody in my family has Lyme disease pretty much. All right, Liam, we're saying bye-bye. You want to say bye-bye?
I already said bye-bye.
I already said bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Rowan heard.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
How white holding?
All right, so everybody say good night and goodbye. Good night, goodbye.
Night, goodbye.
Everybody
Good
have.
night. Goodbye.
Everybody
Have
have
a great weekend.
The
I'm
most-
planting tomorrow, thanks to you, Dolly.
the most wondrous weekend, everyone.
Night and goodbye.
Thank you, everybody, for all the love and support. Make sure you say some extra prayers tonight for Robert, Daybird Aviaries. We're with you, Robert. We love you. You're going to be okay.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
All
Have a
right,
good
guys.
night.
Thank you. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Go for it. Take a chance. You know, you want to. Just click it. Good night.
Night.